Hey everybody, it's Dak here from the Ed Boys, and welcome to episode 59 of our RuneScape 2007 Road to 100 Mil. At the end of last episode, I said I would be finishing up these sharks. I was going to catch about 1,000 of them, and I'm going to be doing that at the end of this load here. I just have 2 more sharks to catch, which these last 2 are giving me a little bit of trouble, but that happens occasionally with sharks. Overall, I did enjoy fishing the sharks. It was a little bit faster than the lobsters, and I was okay with the lobsters, so that would usually mean I'm alright with the sharks. It was definitely kind of slow. I would like to do monkfish, but I didn't do monkfish in this series because I didn't want to go out and have to get all the quest points needed. Eventually I probably will, so I can end up doing monkfish, but I do believe I would test sharks again at 90 or even 95 fishing just to get an idea of what kind of speeds you could get from it. I can't believe I haven't caught any sharks. Okay, there's one. But I was hoping to already have caught both of these sharks to end the... Oh, there it is. See, the more you talk about it, the quicker it goes. That's not true, guys. It's not true at all. Don't try it. Now that you can see here, we have, I think it'll be 1,005. Yep, 1,005 raw shark. I'm going to meet you guys at the Grand Exchange where we will sell them. Alright everybody, we've made it safe and sound to the Grand Exchange where I'm going to be selling these raw shark. I do believe I'll be making about the same profit as I did with lobsters because we caught a lot less shark, but sharks are worth a lot more. I think it's going to add up to about the same. And I don't believe that they will be selling all right away. I don't think we're going to see exactly how much money we have right now, but we'll see in a little bit when we move on to the next thing. So it does look like we'll make between 600 and 700K, which I believe we made 660K from the raw lobsters. So it was about the same profit. This took a lot less time than catching 3,800 raw lobster though. So this was definitely a faster moneymaker. And as I was thinking, they won't sell right away, so I'll come back and check on them later. In the meantime, I will be grabbing some supplies for our number 2, which as you can all tell, it is Blast Furnace. I'm going to be doing mithril bars because currently the prices are looking pretty good for them. Even though adamant would be a little bit more experienced, I'm okay with that. We're trying to make some money right now. I'm going to be doing 7,500 myth bars, which is going to get us to a little over 97 mil, I think, but I don't know exactly because the price could change. But prices are looking pretty good right now, so hopefully they stay the same and we can run through these bars pretty quickly so that we have more of a chance that the prices stay the same. The ores won't be buying right away because I'll make sure I buy them for kind of a lower price to get a better profit overall. So I will be waiting a little bit, but I'm just going to meet you guys at the Blast Furnace where we'll probably have a lot of the ores bought by then. Alright everybody, we're at the Blast Furnace. As you can see, the sharks have sold and some of the ores have bought, so I can put some of the money back in, but we don't know how big the cash stack was because we're buying some ores right now. But we have enough ores that we can start running some Blast Furnace. So I just got to grab my coal bag, which is right here, and we're going to get started. I'm going to be doing 7,500 mithril bars, as I've said before. As normal, I'm going to go over the pros and cons and the GP and XP rates, which I could probably start going over right now because I don't think there's anything more to say about the Blast Furnace. First off, we're going to start with the cons as always, and I really only have one big con here, and that is this requires more people. It's really not that big of a deal because there's generally people here. Of course, there is a world for it, World 358. That world is not usually doing that great, but there's generally people there running it, so that can help. There are always clans like True Blast Furnace is the one I'm using right now that generally run it very quickly, and those guys are usually hosting, but it's not a 24/7 thing. You're not guaranteed to always have somebody running the machine for you, and you could be running this furnace by yourself and still make bars, but it wouldn't be nearly as fast as having a few other people helping you out. So the fact that getting the better rates does require other people makes it a little bit of a con, but it's really not that big of a deal. It's definitely worth doing. That's why it landed at number 2 on our list. Now to move on to the pros, the first one would be that it's a great moneymaker. I'll go over the exact rates in just a second. They do fluctuate quite a lot, but that depends on what bar you're doing and what the prices are and whatnot. But you can definitely get a lot of money per hour here though. Our next positive thing about this is that it is a low requirement thing. I do need 50 smithing to do the mithril bars and even up to 70 to do adamant, but you only need 30 to get in here in general and to start doing steel bars, which you can still make a pretty decent profit and get pretty good XP from it. So in general, it is a low requirement thing. Clearly having higher agility kind of helps me out too because of all the running, but that's not necessarily a requirement. That just makes it a little bit better. And the final pro that we have on the list would be that it's very good smithing XP. Usually I just put the XP as a pro because any experience is a bonus, but in this case it's also a pro because it actually is good XP. It's not just bonus, it's legitimate for training. I was getting very good rates at it that I was about to tell you, but I actually want to put them all together with the GP rates. They were good rates that with the money making just made it even better, so it definitely landed as a pro, getting good smithing XP, and overall that's why this has made it to number 2 on our top 10. Now I can move on to the rates. The rates would change quite a lot. I would say that I averaged 400k an hour, which is very good, but there were definitely times where I was getting 700 to even 800k an hour, and I like that. That's a pretty good amount of money, but that wasn't consistent. I usually would only get that for like a 40 to 45 minute period, but still over the 40 to 45 minutes, making like 500k is very good. I do like those rates. And for experience, that would change a lot too. When I was getting 400k an hour, it was 30 to 35k smithing XP an hour. When I was getting those rates that were giving me 700 to 800k XP an hour, or excuse me, 700 to 800k GP an hour, my XP rates were more in the 60 to 70 range for experience. But again, that would fluctuate depending on how well the furnace is going. So everything is more of an average. But while you're doing it, the speed's going to change a lot. You're going to notice that. In general, you make a lot of money here and you get pretty good XP. Now that we've gone over the pros and cons and even some of the rates, I am going to finish up all of these bars. We have 7,500 to do, which is actually only going to take 3 to 4 hours, depending on how many true blast furnace I can get into, of course. But either way, I'm going to be finishing all those up now, and when we're done, we will go to sell them. So that is when I'm going to see you guys next. Alright, so I'm almost done with the blast furnace. We have just a couple loads to go. It has gone very well. True blast furnace definitely helped me a lot. But honestly, the World 358 was bustling for a little while, and that kind of helped too. In general, I made a lot of money from this. I'm thinking this is going to bring us up to over 97 mil, but I shouldn't get ahead of myself. We still got a ways to go. It looked like it was slowing down there for a second, but some guy came running up with his bucket of water. I do suggest if you're in World 358, and it's going kind of slow and you don't have the option of finding a clan that is making it go faster, you should be learning how to run the furnace yourself so that you can get some of the pieces going. If you just help it run, you can still get a decent amount of bars per hour even if there's only a couple other people helping you. But in general, this is something that you're really hoping there's a bunch of people out there trying to do blast furnace when you go to do it so that you get some people to run the furnace for you. And in some cases, like I definitely paid for the trip that I'm on right now. This True Blast Furnace trip I paid for. The other ones I just snuck around and found the world. Or I should say Fox snuck around and found the world for me. There was one that I found myself. I found one of them. But anyways, that's the rest of our bars. We are all done here. We're going to run up to the Grand Exchange to sell them. So that is where I am going to meet you guys next. Alrighty, everybody, we made it safe and sound back to the Grand Exchange, where I'm going to be selling those mithril bars, and then we'll be wrapping up this episode here. I just got to grab them from the bank and go ahead and start selling them. I think I'm actually going to be able to sell them for a little over 1.1k a piece, which is a lot higher than I usually expect. I generally try to average like a 1k per mithril bar, so getting 1.1k or even higher is definitely quite the bonus. I think overall, mithril bars may have landed at number 2 on the series, not just as the number 2 in the top 10, but in the money we made from that method, this landed as number 2, whereas Nature Runes was probably number 1, and our number 1 that we'll be doing next episode, I believe, landed at number 3, but I didn't necessarily keep track of all that. I'm just kind of guessing by how much. I could go back and look, but I'm not. I'm just kind of giving an estimate. I kind of forgot what I was doing. I was spacing out. You need to grab these bars, all 7,500 of them, and we're going to sell them for, I'm on OS Buddy right now looking at the price. That's also why it's going a little bit slow. I'm going to sell them for, I'm thinking 1,200 a piece, because hopefully they'll sell kind of, oh, they sold immediately. I couldn't have made even more. I was hoping those would just sell eventually and we'd make some killer profit, but it looks like mithril bars that are at a real high right now, so we're actually making a lot more than I expected. This is going to put us at 97 mil, so my guess was still right. Maybe my guess was going to be way off. 97.3 mil. Pretty good place to end this episode here, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. I want to thank you guys for watching today's video and helping support the channel. If you enjoyed the video, we would appreciate it if you would hit that like button and tell us what you liked about it in the comments section below. If you're looking for more videos like this one, then go ahead and join the cul-de-sac by clicking that subscribe button, and follow us on Twitter at @TheEdBoys. All links are in the description.